Hi, researchers. I am Colombian boy and enthusiast of programming and data science, and I would like to explain how to use the API of LimeSurvey using Python. First, it's necessary to configure LimeSurvey. I'm going to begin the process now. Here is my account in LimeSurvey, and I'm going to edit the global settings for this part. It's necessary have income. English level is low because my first language is Spanish, and for me it's a little complicated, much complicated to speak in English or to talk in English. But I try to speak in English of the best form possible. And now we need to check in this part regions, and you need to enter to global, this option settings. Next, global. In global, you need to modify this part. The part is interfaces. You enter to interfaces, and normally you you are going to identify the information in this part, and in this case, you need to change off by JSON RPC, and daily you must click in save. And great. That's the first part to begin with the process. Now I'm going to show you a tool. The name of this tool is Insomnia. In Insomnia, we are going to establish a connection with LimeSurvey. Basically, you can use Insomnia to do some tests, because at the end in this exercise or in this video, we are going to use Python and Visual Studio Code. That's okay. And now we need to open Insomnia. I'm going to open Insomnia in this moment. Okay. Other thing that is very important is I am going to do these videos because I would like to improve my English, and I feel that transmit this knowledge I can to improve my English. And now, and the first thing was, for this part, it's necessary to open Insomnia. And Insomnia, you need to create a new request, a new attribute request. The name for this request, I'm going to put my first request line survey, and the type is post. I changed the type is post, create. And now I'm going to make the follow. I need the URL, and the URL is in the LimeSurvey page. I'm going to open again LimeSurvey page, return to interfaces, and copy this URL. I'm going to put the URL in this part. And now it's necessary to change body by JSON. And the follow is check the documentation of LimeSurvey. In this part, LimeSurvey specified that is the form the correct form to establish the connection. And I'm going to open the follow. This is the documentation, is the URL of the specific part of the documentation. I'm going to check in this part is login. For establish a login, you need to do the follow. But this is support. You can make other option. I'm going to put how to make how to do that. How to do that is the follow. Okay, this is the JSON part. You need to establish this part. And I get that information of the documentation. And you can save this part here. The documentation is get and method. Like method here, method. I'm going to prompts. I don't know what happened, but you can write this, and now you can insert the following information. The following information, the name of the method is possible is get session key. I don't remember very well. I'm checking. Get session. Get survey, get properties, get global settings, get survey, and maybe in the okay for the current name is get survey, and the params you need to enter the user and the password. In this case, my password and my user are the following. My user is admin and my password is production77. And when you run this part, you get the key. And the key is very important to download the service in your platform. And click in send, and you obtain the key. That's the key. It's the number of the key. And now it's necessary to create another method and to use the other method to download the service. Give me a moment. I'm checking where is that part. Is here. The name of the method is survey as export responses. Export responses. This is the name of the method, and this is the font if you can use that method. And we must create all the requests. New requests in this case for survey and survey. Next, you need to change by pause and create. And now you need to put again the URL and that we found in this part. We pay the information here, and now it's necessary to change this part for JSON, and you need to create the JSON console or the JSON query. Give me a moment. I am check what is the code. I'm going to paste the code, the JSON code, and the method. The name of the method is export responses. In this part, you need to put the ID. And the ID, remember your ID is here in this query. Oh, but disappeared my ID, no problem. I'm put again. Here, I get again, and my ID is this. And now I'm going to copy the ID. This part and this part, you need to put the number of the survey, and you can to obtain the number of the survey here. In this case, you can selection in overview. I don't know. Here I return to menu, and the menu I select the equation that I would like to download the information. In this case, is this, and the number is okay. I need to return 349862 and copy the name of the survey. And the format is CSV. In this case, it's not necessary to change. In this part is null. If you like, or if you wish to know what is the name of these options, you can check the documentation, and the documentation you can obtain the information. For example, the first part is session key, the second part is the ID of survey, the third part is document type, this part is the information, no problem. And in this part, you specify if you wish to get all the answers or only the complete surveys. And now you can run the survey, and this is the information about them. This is the information about the survey. The API is functioning correctly, and now you need to use Python. And the current form to use Python is, first you need to convert this code in Python code, and these two options in Python code. What is the correct form? You can give a click here and generate codes and convert Python. Select Python in this part, and you can use HTTP client or request. I like to use request. Copy this part or copy for this part, and you need to open Python and copy the information. And I have the information of this code copied in my Visual Studio Code. You need to download the follow libraries. First, pandas. Second request, JSON, base64 in pandas. Pandas again. It's not necessary have pandas 2 times, and import.io. It's not necessary. It's information, and this is information that I copied them. This information that I copy of the I forget the name of the insomnia. And if you check, it's the same information. Look at this. This information is this information. You can run, but first I need to select the kernel. In this case, the name kernel is connection. I select this kernel, run the collection, and run the libraries. I need to wait some minutes while establish the connection to kernel. I am waiting for that. It's a little okay, that's okay. And you can run this part for the libraries. Okay. It's taking me time. I don't know what happened. 20 seconds for download these libraries is much time. And now you need to activate these libraries. And now you run this part. Remember, this part I get of the insomnia. I copy this information. I put the information in this part. Now I run the information. Okay, this is the code, it's the same code with the insomnia. And now I am get the key. For this one, it's very important to obtain the key and only the test part, because for the next code you need only the test part and no more information. This is the method for responses. Remember, that part is here. If you click and next you generate the code, and then you copy and paste here in Python, in this case in a Jupyter notebook, in Visual Studio Code, and run information. And now it's necessary to do a special process because the information is downloaded in some format that is called base64, as it's necessary to transform this format in a format that posteriorly convert in a data frame. And for that is you obtain the results are taken in this variable named called survey, and next you transform base code 64 in a normal format, and next I convert the information in a data frame and run the information. This the data table or the data frame that I built. This is all the process. If you have a dog, you can write me in the or leave me a comment. You can write a comment, and I would like to help you with that information. I was looking how to use this in internet, but I don't find out. I don't find nothing about this part. For that reason, I decided to build the structure to download the survey of LimeSurvey through API. That's all the information. And remember, my English level is low. For that reason, it's possible that you do something bad pronunciation and bad words, but I hope to improve my English and and do the best videos possible. That's all. Thank you for all. See you later. There is a part very important, and is that you need to keep permissions for do the consoles through the API. And you need to keep the permissions in this part. You first select the service that you need, in this case this, and now you need to give the permissions uh, or responses to the server permissions. And you select the, or you give all the permissions and save, and no more. That's all. I hope to function the information correctly.